Today I will be explaining how to utilize a flexibility program design. The component of frequency, intensity, time, and type are used to develop a flexibility program. It is helpful to perform abilities to carry out everyday functional activities. The protocols we'll be assessing today are as follows: the trunk flexion sit and reach, the chair sit and reach, the YMCA sit and reach, straight leg raise test, and the proper way to use a gonometer. Following materials you will need are a flat wall to help subject achieve a 90-degree angle while being tested, a sit and reach box depending on the type of method with an optional yoga mat, a chair with a seated height of 17 inches that will not tip forward, and a ruler, a gonometer that contains two arms, one for stabilization and one for a movement. It is used to commonly measure a joint, and lastly, a yardstick. There are specific variables that can affect the number range, such as warm-up, muscle velocity, and joint capsules. Therefore, we're going to have our subject go ahead and start a warm-up and stretch out before assisting any of the flexibility protocols. We will now begin the sit and reach Canadian test. Before beginning, make sure the subject has removed his or her shoes. They will then place the bottom of their feet flat against the flexometer, which is the sit and reach box. The subject will slowly reach forward with both their hands on top of each other, taking a deep breath in and exhaling on the way down. They will hold the position as far down for 2 seconds. The score is then recorded using the most distant point in inches reached with the subject's fingertips. The best of 2 trials will be recorded. It is important to remember to inform the subject that their knees need to be extended the entire time. The norms will be given by the age and table shown at the end of this video. We will now go over the chair sit and reach test. It has a seated height of 17 inches and a ruler of roughly about 18 inches. You will place the chair against a flat wall, ensuring your subject to sit on the edge of the chair. The subject will extend the leg being tested. This will be dorsiflex in front of the hip. The subject will have the opposite leg flexed to have the other planted flat, roughly about 6 to 12 inches on the other side of the body. Then the subject will place his or her hands on top of another with palms facing down. The subject will start to bend forward, keeping the spine straight and aligned at the hip joint. The subject will reach towards the extended leg to touch the toes and hold their position for about 2 seconds. You will place the ruler aside the client's leg and have them do it about 2 test trials to each leg. Now record the best score to the nearest half inch. If the fingers are short of the toe, then it's recorded as a minus score. If it's beyond the toes, then it's recorded as a plus score. We will now assist the YMCA test. A yardstick is placed on the floor. You will use tape to mark the 15 inch across the yardstick. The subject will sit with the yardstick between their extended legs. The heels of the feet should touch the 15-inch mark and be anywhere from 10 to 12 inches apart. The subject will slowly reach forward with both hands on top of each other's palms facing down, as far as possible, holding the position for 2 seconds. The score is then recorded using the most distant point in inches reached with the subject's fingertips. The best of 2 trials will be recorded. It is important to remember to inform the subject that their knees need to be extended the entire time. The norms will be given by the age and the table shown at the end of the video. We will now administer the Thomas test. This is used to represent whether the hip contractures are present. The subject lies supine on a table. Their arms across the chest, legs together and fully extended. The examiner places one hand under the subject's lumbar curve. One thigh is brought up to the chest, flattening the spine. In this position, the extended thigh should be flat on the table. If not, this is a hip contour. When the subject fully extends the leg again, the curve in the lower back returns. You will assess this on both legs. We will now administer the straight leg test. It is meant to measure the flexibility of hip extensors. Have the subject lie on their backs. Then make sure that their back is against the floor completely. The person performing the test will then raise one of the subject's legs while being sure the opposite leg is flat and extended. Afterwards, grab your gonometer and place it at the axis of the greater trochanter. 80 degrees is the minimal angle accepted for the straight leg raise. A 90 degree is considered the desirable angle. Lastly, you'll record the angle and specify if it was acceptable or unacceptable. Below are the tables needed for the trunk flexion sit and reach, listing from excellent down to needs improvement by age and sex, and the YMCA sit and reach by age and sex, listed as well above average to well below average. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.